If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
Yes, to buy our merch. Please go buy our merch. We've got some really cool things over there.
Yeah, the channel is about to be over, considering the last review we just did. So
maybe a little bit sooner than we expected.
Sooner than the announcement we were going to make.
Okay, Ben Folds is next. Concerto for Piano and Orchestra, Movement 1.
Yes. What's the comment on that one?
This is a very modern composition developed and performed by the rock musician Ben Folds with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, my hometown, on April 29th.
April 29th?
Yeah, your birthday.
Gang.
2016. This piece is the first of 3 movements in the overall concerto. It was written with the intent of creating an original composition, which would pay homage to the classical masterpieces while appealing to a new generation of music lovers and students coming into their own. It shares a great deal in common with the other classical pieces on tonight's stream, but there are a lot of very neat modern sensibilities added. Listen close and you'll be able to pick out arrangements and melodies more associated with ragtime, swing, and even modern rock. That's interesting.
Okay, let's check it out, dear listener. Let's
score this gets. We can't guarantee a positive review.
Can't guarantee a positive review. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. metal here.
This one is everywhere. Mr. Rogers had something like this.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
this one is donezo.
he literally showed us like, look at all I can do. There was so many different transitions in that. You know what would have been really interesting?
How'd you feel about this one?
I loved it. You know what would have been fun about this one is if you would have had a keyboard over there, I would have had a keyboard over here. We can't see each other's answers. And as the transitions happen, the first thing that comes to your mind in that transition is what you type.
Yeah.
So there was like so many different.
If I would have known, we would have done that.
Yeah, but we didn't know what it was. But there was like so many different things. There was like, there was one part that reminded me of Mr. Rogers, and there was like another part that would like the Beauty and the Beast, and then another one, Sound of Music, and all these different scenes. There was even Shades of Grey in there. I was like, my God. Like, that's all right. But yeah, this one was really interesting. I liked all the different.
Sadie said, I thought they were naming their kid John Galt. But who's John Galt?
But who is?
We did it! It was John Galt.
Well
Gang. We got to finish that book, bro.
I know.
Maybe we should listen to some more. All right, go ahead. Continue.
Take some walks and take some drives and listen.
Yeah. Continue.
So yeah, the it's weird because it didn't feel like, to me, it didn't feel like one song. It felt like a sample.
Yeah.
CD where we got like a bunch of little pieces.
Yeah.
And I think quite a few people said it kind of sounds like a soundtrack, didn't it?
Yes.
That's exactly what I thought too. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the different transitions that it took, and for me, it was kind of like going down memory lane of all the different special things that I've seen in my life, which, most of them like visuals, like movies and plays and stuff like that. So I liked it.
It was like sitting down and watching like a montage of like classical Hollywood movies. Mm-hmm. Is the feel that I got from it. Like, especially in the middle part. So when I was in Jamaica, it wasn't very long, 3 or 4 years, but we didn't have like movies. I went outside all day. I played. Yeah. We didn't watch movies. Like I didn't even know what the hell a movie was. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I had no idea. Like, there was The Boogeyman. There was one time, it was weird. It was very random. In the afternoon in Jamaica, I was like 3 or 4 years old. Very early memory. And we were watching The Boogeyman, and I was terrified. But that was like literally the only thing I remember seeing on TV. Oh, wow. I mean, my brother was in track. Like I played. I mean, I just played all day in Jamaica to the point of exhaustion and just dropping. And
that's what we did all. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first came to America, I remember. Like, Americans have no idea, like, what the transition is like. Especially if you end up in a middle class, upper middle class kind of strata, which is where we were at the time. Mm-hmm. Like, we went from Jamaica, and we were doing okay in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my brother. But, man, when we came to America, and I just found out, like, Mr. Man had won the lottery. He won, like, $10K in the lottery. So you come to America and there's McDonald's.
Oh, it was the lottery?
Yeah. Well, there's lottery and a lawsuit and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But there was McDonald's. There was like, but I remember first time we watched E.T. I was absolutely blown away. And like this song brought me back to like discovering the magic of like what that was like when I was a kid and seeing it for the first time. Like, and then the other thing that it brought me back to was we moved to Florida because we started Maine, then we moved to Florida. And shout out to Mr. Pegram, gang. Sorry we treated you like that, buddy. But Florida, my 5th grade teacher, he would take us to Disney, yada yada yada. We went to Universal Studios.
Oh, is that where that kid took your $20?
Yeah. And the slogan for Universal Studios at the time, I don't know what it is now, but the slogan at the time was where you can ride the movies.
Oh, okay.
So they had Earthquake, where you were in a because there was this movie called Earthquake, and they would take you on the subway, and there would be an earthquake, and it was unbelievable.
I think when I went, it was Twister.
We did Back to the Future, which is the last ride we went on. Oh my God, that was amazing. And it's just like the wonder of like being a kid.
Yeah.
And you knew it wasn't real, but I was still young enough to where I got lost in the wonder of King Kong, Back to the Future, Earthquake, all that. It was amazing. And
how old were you? 6?
5th grade, so I don't know.
Okay.
E.T., you know, you were on, everybody had their little bikes, and then E.T. would talk to you and they would bring you up on this thing. I mean, really, it was a corny ride. I mean, it wasn't like, but it was like, yo, you saw E.T. and now E.T. is in like the 2 carts ahead of you, and because you know when you're riding a bike, you're going up to the moon. And so it was like, come on, get me out of here, blah, blah, blah. And then you'd ride up to, it was just like the most amazing. It was just like, I just think to myself, like, oh man, like we're going to take Orion and all them and having him meet Mickey and all that. Like the wonder of the whole thing. It's going to be insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like looking at that whole situation, man, and being like, damn, bro, like, whoa. I mean, so that's kind of what it felt like for me.
Yeah.
Was like just being in that wonder of all the movies and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it was negative or Alden said like, yeah, this song is good. It just doesn't have an identity necessarily.
Yeah.
And I agree with that because it was all over the place.
Yeah.
And this is a good song, but it's not like on the last 3 songs we just heard.
No.
Like it's not that. You know, it's something else. It's good. It's great. Shout out to Jambi. It's great, but it's not at the level of like what we just heard in the previous songs. I mean, 042 and all the rest. Like these are like all-time classics that were inspired by some mystical being that inhabited the body of the composer, whereas this one is like really, really good and awesome and cool, but you know, not at the level. But anyway, that's kind of what was going on with me.
I agree with that. I agree with all that. I think like for me, the way that it was experienced was a really interesting journey like that. That's never happened to me with listening to a song before, where there was so many different transitions that you had so many memories that kept popping up.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought it would have been so cool. And it was interesting because you were doing the same thing, but you were on your different journeys like that. You know what I mean? And so you would have been typing about the rides, and I would have been typing about the movies I've seen. And 100%. That would have been a really cool added thing. But of course, we had no idea what type of thing we were walking into. So, but I really I liked it because this is one of those things. Like I definitely think this guy is gifted. What it sounds like for him to do a song that's like a complete instead of like a bunch of pieces. I don't know. Maybe he always does his songs that are like almost like a bunch of pieces all kind of stuff.
Yeah, this guy's modern. He's still alive.
Yeah.
And all that. So
it's tough because he's so gifted. You want to give him a high score, but he doesn't compare to the other people, in my opinion. So I guess I'm gonna give him I'll go with a 9.4 for him.
This is an 8.5 for me. Walk down memory lane. Holy smokes. Hey, Negative Vibes, who selected this particular song? I really liked it. Let me know. Anyway, there you are, dear listener. We got more music coming for you. Stay tuned. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.